Alright, this is pretty good. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Shit, oh, hold on, my bad. This shit's pretty easy. Fuck me, alright. Nice. Oh shit. Anomaly. Ah! You always gotta understand anomalies, right? Is that a goth girl? Fuck. Oh, I certainly wish certain things weren't anomalies. Exit the most recent horror video game adaptation coming to you in the big screen, huge, it's around the corner, based on the video game Exit. Quick synopsis of the game and the movie, so I can kind of just explain them both here. Exit as a video game is a very simplistic concept horror game as you go through a subway tunnel, looking around, seeing if the basic elements are the same or if there's anomalies. If you see an anomaly, you turn back and you continuously do that until you get to Exit, and then you can escape and survive. Now, when it comes to the movie, as that is still the main concept of the film includes more characters and actually gives you a story to follow along with different perspectives in the film and more crazier fucking anomalies to happen, as it kind of just gives you the overall same aspect of continuously look for anomalies and get out to Exit. So that's pretty much all I can really give without spoiling a lot of things in the film. So from here on out will be the spoiler talk. I will again put the time description down below for the overall dinner score if you want to see the score I give for the film. I do recommend this movie a lot, and I do recommend also watching the some gameplay of the game itself if you don't know anything about it, or going into it completely blind. Either way, you still get surprised with this film, as I sure did as well. And boom. Starting off with my positives about the film. So, the opening of the film really does give us who this protagonist is. I don't remember his chapter title, the man. He's a dude and he's the main guy, so he's the protagonist now. Protagonist doesn't like to intervene. He doesn't really like to step up, be a good human being. I related too much about this movie, and it's not good. The dilemma that protagonist comes across is that his ex-girlfriend is pregnant with child, and it is his child. And he has to make the ultimate choice of either leaving them, becoming a deadbeat father, or stepping up and becoming a father to help raise this fucking human being. Damn, it's a scary ultimatum. After that phone call, we do find ourselves in the Exit loop, pretty much getting accustomed to what this environment really is. So, protagonist goes through it a couple times, understanding that there's anomalies, that if you see an anomaly, you turn around. And we do get to see a lot of the classics, like the walking man, stop walking, looks around and do. And he's like, oh, sociopath. Ah. And the more he keeps doing it, he figures out that Exit 1, Exit 2, we need to get to Exit. Premise of the goddamn movie. Wonderful. As the protagonist gets accustomed to these anomalies, experiencing every emotion possible, hope, love, excitement, dread, hopelessness, everything possible, he does find himself meeting a potential anomaly. It's a kid. And this kid is another patron of the Exit loop. Now, this is where we get our second chapter, which is the Walking Man. The Walking Man is a very unbalanced character. He's a man that overreacts extensively, scares the kid, then gets all giddy with hope again, and kind of forgets what this world really is. So his walking anomaly is this young woman, about 20 years old, and he believes that she is here to help and falls for the tricks. We do see what happens when you do fall for the traps. As one of the classic anomalies, the staircase leading up to the surface world does appear, and then we see him walking as an anomaly for the protagonist, where then that leads both protagonist and the boy, which then will lead into chapter 3. Now, the boy as a character is a very silent, yet very helpful, and yet very irritating character to the protagonist and also the Walking Man. The boy's little backstory here is that he got lost from his mom on purpose to hopefully have her attention and come find him. Chemistry between the protagonist and the boy are very good. you would very well see that the protagonist is learning as a character with the boy going through these anomalies. And we can really well see his past character of being a careless man and not putting himself up towards the challenge to help others very well change in him actually risking his life to protect this child to make sure that he can get out as much as he wants to get out as well. Now, going into the negatives I have with the film. My first negative I really have with Exodate is the lack of reaction time and the unlogical decisions characters make in the film, especially when it comes to certain anomalies that are very clear fucking anomalies. Number one, lights are flickering. There's noises in the vents. What do we do? Let's sit here for 5 to 6 business days and let's figure out what we're gonna do. Hey, there's natural disaster sirens going, and then there's a flash flood. Instead of seeing a literal, first off, you hear sirens, but then you see the flood. So let's sit there and watch the flood, and then let's run. Hey, guess what? A door opens into a black abyss. Let's not do anything. Matter of fact, let's stick our fucking heads. So, reactions. So one scene that I will give leeway towards is the flash flood with the alarms going crazy at the end of the film. That one I will allow some understanding towards because the protagonist does get that development that he really deserves in putting himself in front of the kid and definitely helping him survive the flash flood, even if that means he might die from this. He definitely stepped up and put himself in front of the danger to help someone else. I very well like that character arc for him, so I will give that anomaly delay reaction walnut time a pass. Now, one anomaly I didn't really fully understand was the door opening to the pure abyss, and pretty much in this abyss, the protagonist can see himself in the subway with the opening scene, and watching him do nothing towards the towards the baby and the mother. Now, I understand what that scene represents, and I thought it was pretty good, like a self-reflection mirror kind of thing. But something I don't fully understand is that why have a scene like that when it's clearly being shown progressively continue down towards Exodate? The boy and the protagonist are clearly building a chemistry very close that he already is learning this self-reflection arc. So having him look into a abyss black door hole to see that doesn't do anything for me. Matter of fact, it just kind of wastes time. If it would have made more sense for a jump scare to happen, or I don't know, anything really like a monster going grrr. Another problem I do have with the film is the boy. Now, the boy is a very good character, especially when he starts talking. When he's introduced into the film, he doesn't talk at all. It really does piss off the walking man and also the protagonist for a little bit. So overall, the boy is a masterclass rage baiter. The boy clearly doesn't want to speak. I don't know if that's a whole stranger danger thing, but he clearly does trust the protagonist at some point to start talking and even starts participating in the whole little fun dynamic that the protagonist had, which is door, vent, fire hydrant, poster, 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 poster. It's fun. It really builds their connection deeper. But in the earlier stages of when he was in the film, this is how he would describe or point out a anomaly. Like, now I personally don't understand why he couldn't done a different way to communicate. Like, I don't know, stamping your foot, giving a little clap, doing a little dance, like, or I don't know, farting or something, doing anything really. But he doesn't do anything, which does cost certain characters to get reset and lose their minds further, specifically the Walking Man. But he does start talking, and like I said, he does participate, so I guess it kind of just gets overshadowed, but whatever. Finally, my last pet peeve I have was earlier in the film. Earlier in the film, it was very well established that the protagonist has coughing problems. He has asthma. And the coughing does get very irritating at one point in the film, but at one point, it kind of just goes away, magically cured. So the protagonist does get very upset. He starts going crazy, screaming. He ends up vomiting, something I don't ever need to see in a movie, and then passes out in the middle of the hallway. Now, I don't know whether or not he fucking died or if he just went nighty night for a sleep good old tight. But then he wakes up and continues going, but this time he doesn't have a cough. Matter of fact, he doesn't cough again in this movie. I'm sitting there in the theater, literally going, "This is gonna come. This is gonna come back. This coughing, this asthma is gonna be a big part." And it doesn't come back. I was completely fucking wrong. Smaller concept films that have to kind of some way drag out the film, certain elements will kind of get dropped off of the face of the earth. For example, Hurry Up Tomorrow has a lot of those kind of examples in there with elements kind of just going away and never coming back. But I really thought Exit 8 wouldn't have that kind of problem, and it was very clear cut of this is the character, he's got this physical problem, and I wish it actually came to play in, especially during the Flash Flood. That would have been a perfect scene for that to happen, but he's all good, especially when he gets back into the real world. So I guess Exit has better healthcare than the American system. So that's awesome to see. Coming to the conclusion of the film, both the boy and the protagonist do get out safely, and during the flash flood scene, there is a moment where the protagonist gets a little vision. Now, in this vision, I'm guessing it's in the far future, with him and his ex girlfriend clearly having the child. He is now a father, and matter of fact, this child is the current boy in the Exit 8 loop. So, my little game film theory here that I have no clue what the fuck I talk about sometimes, but my guess is that Exit 8 has no time concept to it. It's like the TVA. It doesn't have any points in time, it just exists. Meaning anybody from any point in time could exit, well, that can enter this moment of time, this kind of bubble. Meaning that the young boy, protagonist's son in this case, entered when he got lost from his mother and entered here the exact moment in time when his father, protagonist, was in here, as that allows protagonist to learn from this awful mistake that he will do in the future, abandoning his son and showing him that we're good together, so you stay here. Well, you go there and you whatever. Fuck. The point is that this is the perfect opportunity for the protagonist to undo this current terrible time that he has once committed. Which also kind of proves my point is that the boy is also never found at all at the end of the film. We don't ever run into him at the subway or anything like that. He's just gone, fucking forgotten about. So my guess is that the moment of time very well distinguished that yes, he will make the right decision, and the boy is not here, as he will be later found at the beach in a better time. So when it comes to Exit 8, I think as an adaptation is a very good film. I think they do it very well, giving us very good shocking moments, especially with the boy not being an anomaly and introducing a new element in there that wasn't even in the games. I very well like this open concept that could still give us so much more, especially for the game, but also for potential sequels. I very well loved it. I do recommend this as a watch. As a horror film, it doesn't really have any grotesque moments besides the rat scene that is a little hard to watch, especially if you don't do well with pitch black stuff and only hearing noises, and if also baby cryings kind of trigger you in some sort of way. That that's a lot in this film. But finally, going into the dinner score, for me, Exit 8 is a great film, and I'm personally going to go ahead and give it a 8 out of 10 chicken burgers out of 8 out of 10 chicken burgers. I think the film is done really well. I'm excited to see if there's any more from it. If not, this is a great adaptation. Really hope more game adaptation films could take it something out of this book, meaning do what the game did, but also add elements that can fit the movie world better than they did in the game world. So overall, I think the movie is great, and I do recommend it. And uh, good night.